I think everyone would want to be captain, you know what I mean? But it's about someone wanting you to do it, and that's the biggest honour you can be asked to do. And it meant a lot that Andy asked me to do it, and that he thought that I was the one to lead us forward into this campaign. It's obviously a campaign by campaign thing at the moment, and we'll see how we go and see how everything goes over the next 8 weeks.
Still nursing an injury. We've had a few days off to be honest, so nothing too taxing. And we met up yesterday and had a bit of a walkthrough, so he was able to partake in that. But we'll have to take it day by day, and I don't think it's anything too serious. But how that's going to play out in the next few days, we'll have to wait and see. He's fully fit. He's through all his protocols now, and training in Portugal tomorrow, and he's full steam ahead. Yeah, I mean, along with a few other names, there's obviously some new guys in there that's going to freshen the squad up, and they're in there because they deserve to be in there. You know, it's not just a matter of freshening things up; it's a matter of picking people that's in good form. I know Ronan has been injured for a few weeks, but he was in pretty good form. And Johnny, before he got injured, was on fire as well. So we feel like we've got a 36-man squad that are really in a good place, really playing well. Competition for places is at a premium for us, which is the way that we want it. Progressing our game. Winning, it matters. We won't shy away from that. I told the boys yesterday. If I told Johnny that he's going into a game to play second fiddle, you know, and come away with a loss, he'd think I'd gone mad, you know. So we want to win, but at the same time, we want to develop our game. We want to keep on improving, and certain aspects will take a little bit of time, but at the same time, yeah, we expect to perform.
What way do you want to develop that game? What do you want to develop?
It's an all-round game. Look, the fundamentals of the game never change, so that's got to be at a premium, and those fundamentals need to keep developing. You know, you can't win any rugby game without a good set piece, or without a good defence, or without good game understanding. So those aspects of the game need to keep on developing as well. Attack is always a difficult process because it takes a little bit longer, but we want to improve that along the way. Might take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So at the same time, we want to keep developing, but the key is to make sure that we don't get too ahead of ourselves, that we don't stand for something. That's key for us, you know, making sure that we come out of each particular game and stand for what we said we was going to stand for in the days before that. So I suppose every coach that comes in would like to put their own stamp on the game, but without getting too ahead of ourselves.
Andy, do you feel your relationship with the players changes in any way going from being an assistant coach to a head coach?
I'm still going to be myself, 100%. You know, I'll always be myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't be true to what I believe in. You know, and that's the way that I've always coached. Is it going to change as far as the players are concerned? Obviously, you know, selection's a big thing, and that'll be down to me to make the final call there. Obviously, with the assistance of the coaches, etc. But I'll make the final call there. Does that change? I don't see it changing at all, because I hope that I've got good enough relationships that are trusted relationships that we can work through this together.
Johnny, a player you're very familiar with, Dan Digger. What are your thoughts on him? You've probably asked him a quick back over the years.
Yeah, good friend from I suppose the previous Lions tour, and still stay in touch with him. He's gone from strength to strength, really. I think he's really gone well under the new coaches in Northampton, and they've obviously qualified for the quarters now in Europe, and he's playing a big part of that. So looking forward to locking horns with him again and against Wales in a couple of weeks. But we've got a big one first next week before we start thinking about Wales. Yeah, huge threat. You know, we did a lot of homework on him before the World Cup game. I think he's obviously playing a lot better over the last couple of months. He's been playing really, really well for Racing and showing all the touches and the sort of moments of brilliance that he has. So we're going to have to be ready for all those tricks. And they've got some other quality players in around him as well that we're going to have to be ready for. I saw a huge change in him between tours, from 13 in Australia. He was obviously the youngest on the tour. I think he was only 20 at the time, or even younger, and massive change 4 years later. He was like a different person. And then I suppose he's obviously advanced further again, and now he's captain of Scotland. And he's been up there as their best player in terms of over the last, since he's come on the scene really. And himself and Gregor know each other well, so I'm sure they'll make a good team.
Stuart, he's a big cog in the wheel, isn't he, for Scotland and how they play. He has a big influence on the game, and I suppose behind the scenes he'll have a big influence as well because he's a big character, He tends to lead with his actions on the field, and I suppose over a period of time he's matured quite a bit because he's been a cheeky chap along the way. When we coached him in 2013, he was very young by then, but it's very obvious to everyone watching the game just how he's developed as far as maturity is concerned. And Gregor says now is his time, and obviously he knows him more than most. I think we're in a great place, not just at scrum half, but in many positions. As I said to you before, I believe all 36 are in good form. The competition for places at scrum half is obviously at a premium as well. There's a lot of people that have been asked a lot of questions about John Cooney today, and he's playing really well. He's really confident and he's loving his rugby at this moment in time. But we picked 5 scrum halves in the camp just before Christmas, and Blady and Jameson were very unlucky to miss out on this squad because they were playing good rugby as well. But at the same time, Luke McGrath got man of the match at the weekend, Conor Murray got man of the match at the weekend, and I said a big thing for us driving forward has got to be competition for places, and that's certainly one of those positions. He's an ideas man, Mike. He's got some great ideas, and he's very passionate about expressing himself and working closely with the players and coming up with new plans, etc. And it's what I need. I need to be challenged. I need to be thrown ideas my way, and I'll take 20 of them and sift through them. I might take 1 or 2, and it's exactly what I need.
Yeah, that's what we're judged on. When talk about performances, everyone's saying about how we dipped off in 2019. We had some bad performances in 2018, but sometimes they get glossed over with wins, and that's what we get judged on. Winning is what we want to do. How we get there is obviously what we're going to do over the next 10 days. And we need to develop our game. We need to do lots of things, but we need to make sure we're comfortable enough with whatever it is that we decide that we're ready to win. And that's what we're going into the championship to do as well.
Who's that? Who? I'm in awe of anyone who's got longevity right at the top, and this man's exactly in that same bracket, Anyone who's pushing anywhere near 100 caps means that they've had a hell of a career. But within that career, everyone knows that there's going to be ups and downs, and they've dealt with that in the right manner and come back even stronger. And yeah, I think what he's doing at this moment in time, I've watched his last 2 games when he's come back as well, and he's made a difference to the Ospreys, obviously, and it's good timing for Wales.
Andy, you had a lot of personal challenges as a player, teenage captain. Where does this rate in terms of personal challenges to be a national head coach?
Right up there. Challenges is what floats my boat, really. I love a challenge. I've worked hard to get here, and I want to meet that challenge head on and enjoy it as well.
When it comes to selection, how important is experience that guys have in test rugby, and also that freshness you mentioned of new players?
It's important, yeah. It's important that the team dynamics in general is not just through experience. You know, you could be experienced or not playing well or not in form or whatever. But yeah, there's still the dynamics work for the team. So there's a lot of different permutations that have to come together to make a team. But at the same time, yeah, it's the bigger picture stuff of the package of what makes the team tick that happens. You don't just get selected because you're experienced. You get selected because you're going to make a difference at the weekend, you know, and that's what matters to us.